Before we start today's video, let me take this opportunity to wish all those who have been affected by COVID-19 a quick recovery, and also wish them God's and Allah's mercy and protection. Kindly take 1 minute and watch these preventive mechanisms or control mechanisms of COVID-19 in the first phase of our video. Thank you. Kienyeji chicken farming, or farming of indigenous improved chicken, is the most profitable, and at the same time, it's the most disastrous. You either fall in the profit-making side or you either fall in the loss-making side. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell so that every time I upload a new video, I send you a notification. Remember also to share to your friends and drop your comment. Remember, I first started keeping Kienyeji improved chicken when I was 24 years old. Just check on the link below and watch. That was my first video. For you to have a very successful Kienyeji farm, there is nothing that anybody should lie to you that these are the tips that you should use to maximize your egg production. No. This thing, you have to work on it very scientifically. I always tell you in each and every video that poultry have a certain percentage of egg production at a certain age depending on the genetic composition of the bird. Alright? Now, for Kienyeji farming, the most important thing is you have to understand that by the end of the year, you will have 3 products to sell: fertile eggs, meat, and chicks. So, before you think of putting up a Kienyeji farm, first have in mind where will you get the market to sell fertile eggs, chicks, and mature chicken. Alright? And now, this brings me to the most important point: why many farms fail and why many farms succeed in terms of Kienyeji. If you want to succeed in Kienyeji farming, then understand the seasons of these 3 products. Alright? For example, the demand for chicks and fertile eggs is very high in Africa and Asia from April up to August. This is the time that people want to buy day-old chicks, bring them up for maturity, or farmers want to buy fertile eggs, incubate them, hatch, and sell chicks, or bring up the chicks for maturity and sell them when they're mature. Alright? So, as a Kienyeji farmer, the season between April and August should find you with mature chicken that are laying fertile eggs. Alright? Now, for you to get fertile eggs with a higher hatchability, it has to be a ratio of 1 cock to 7 females. And I repeat, 1 cock to 7 females, not 1 cock to 10 females. Alright? So, after having 1 cock to 7 hens, that means that at least 70% of your eggs will be fertile. When you incubate them and induce them to the era of incubation, you will not hatch 100%. You will hatch, give it 65%. So now that your eggs were fertile 75% and then they'll hatch out 65%, at least you'll be having a good number of eggs. Let's say 65 eggs, 65 chicks out of 100 eggs. That is how truthful it is. Let nobody lie to you that you can hatch 100 chicks out of 100 chicks. No matter how modernized your farm is, you can't afford that. Alright? So you can only work towards hitting 65 up to 70% hatchability. That is the time that you'll make more profit from selling day-old chicks. Alright? And if you have the correct ratio, when you sell out your fertile eggs, the farmers will be hatching those eggs. They will find out that your eggs are hatching a higher percentage, that is 70% and above. And therefore, you will have a higher market share in terms of selling fertile eggs. Alright? So then, that is very important. Cock to hen ratio and the season. Finally, if you want to make a good margin in kienyeji farming, you then have to understand also that mature chicken have got a higher demand from August up to December. This is mostly festive season, People are going into Christmas and other celebrations. It's festivity. There's that frenzy in the air of that celebration mood. And therefore, the consumption of mature chicken slightly goes up. Now, for instance, you find a who just wants to start kienyeji farming simply because he's seen good videos on YouTube and he's seen good photos. Therefore, this farmer finds himself or herself with day-old chicks in December. For God's sake, who are you going to sell those chicks to? You will feed those chicken with your pocket throughout December, January, and then they start laying around March. So whom are you going to sell those eggs to, and whom are you going to sell those chicks to at that period? So kindly understand the seasons and understand when to get into the market. Okay? Kienyeji farming requires very simple structures. Very simple. You can make them with iron sheet or you can make them with 3-ply. Alright? Do not invest so much in construction of the housing units. Instead, invest that in the number of birds or in the equipment such as incubators, geckos for brooding. Just intensify your brooding so that you can control the early mortalities. Also, kienyeji do not need a very high crude protein percentage feed. Do not miss to vaccinate your birds. Let nobody cheat you that because this is an indigenous improved bird, it is disease resistant. Newcastle disease is a viral disease. Gumboro is a viral disease. Whenever there's an outbreak in the neighborhood, automatically, if your birds are not vaccinated, they will sweep your whole flock. That is a loss. Always remember the principle of you lose one bird, you lose a profit. Always keep your records, analyze your costs, analyze your output so that you can know where you're operating from. If you're operating from diminishing returns, if your costs are high, you can know what to reduce, and if your output is good, so that you can know where to further improve. Most farmers hardly keep records. They just keep investing, and thus they keep making losses and losses and losses. They just give up at the end of the day and hate the entity, and yet others are making it simply because keeping records. Finally, adhere 100% to routine management practices. These include things like debeaking, decloning, deworming, changing of the litter all the time, frequently. Supplement the birds with vitamins when need be after every vaccination. Don't just assume these birds and say these ones are indigenous birds, they're improved, and therefore they'll be on their own, Man for himself and God for us all. No, that principle doesn't work for indigenous chicken farming. I hope you liked the video. Kindly share and drop your comment below.